I recently made a video all about how you can still use your unsupported iPads. And honestly, you guys absolutely loved it. The response was brilliant. So many of you shared your own ideas, your own setups, and creative ways you're keeping older tech alive. And I genuinely appreciate that. It's great to see so many people who also want to keep these devices out of the e-waste bin and still working in everyday life. Now, after that video went live, one thing kept coming up in the comments, and a lot of you were asking, what can you do specifically with the smaller iPads, especially the iPad minis that are now unsupported? And completely understand why people found the mini so appealing. They're small, lightweight, and incredibly easy to carry around. At the same time, they're bigger than a phone, so you can get much more better viewing experience. Even now, the screen on the iPad mini is ahead of its time. It's bright, it's sharp, and it still looks fantastic. The one I have here is a first generation iPad mini, model A1432. And despite Apple officially moving on from it years ago, there is still so much life left in this device. Even if Apple won't support it anymore, that doesn't mean we can't keep it going ourselves. Before we go any further, I just want to say that I'm not going to cover old ground in this video. I won't be repeating the general unsupported iPad methods that I already explained in the previous video. If you missed that one, definitely go back and watch it after this, because it will help you massively. I'll leave that link in the description below. This video is specifically about what you can actually do with an unsupported iPad mini in 2026. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. The first thing to understand is that there are still a surprisingly number of apps that work on unsupported iPad minis. Some of them will install normally, and others may require the workaround I discussed in the previous video. That method involves downloading the app first on a newer iOS device, and then going into your purchase section on the older iPad mini to download the last compatible version. It takes a little bit of effort, but it works. Once you get past that hurdle, you suddenly realize that this small tablet is far more capable than you expected. One of the best uses for the iPad mini is a permanent wall-mounted display. The size is absolutely perfect for it because it's large enough to see clearly, but small enough to look neat and minimal. Mounted in a kitchen, hallway, office, or living room, it can become a dedicated information screen that quietly does one job really well. For example, it can display live weather updates, current temperatures, and future forecasts throughout the day. Having that information constantly visible at a glance is genuinely helpful, and this kind of task doesn't require a powerful processor. It just needs a reliable screen that can stay on and display information clearly, which the iPad mini does perfectly. Another brilliant use is turning the iPad mini into a smart home control panel. Smart technology in our homes is only increasing. We now have smart plugs, smart light bulbs, voice assistants, connected televisions, and automated routines that run throughout the day. Most of these rely on apps for control. Even though the iPad mini is unsupported, many smart home apps still have older compatible versions available, especially if you use the workaround I mentioned earlier. It might take a bit of digging to find the right version that works, but once you do, the iPad mini becomes a dedicated control hub for your entire home. Mounted on a wall, it can control your lights, your plugs, your heating, and your media systems, all from one place. Instead of being obsolete, it suddenly becomes one of the most useful devices in the house. The iPad mini also makes an excellent surveillance monitor. If you have security cameras, a baby monitor, or even a door camera, this device can act as a permanent viewing screen. Because of its compact size, it can sit neatly on a desk or mount to a wall without taking up much space. You can leave it displaying the camera feeds so you can quickly glance over and check what's happening. It's a perfect example of giving an old device a single dedicated purpose that keeps it useful every day. Now, this one I think is massively underrated. The iPad mini is actually fantastic for music and audio, especially the older models like this one, because they still have the proper headphone jack. The headphone jack is incredibly useful for musicians. You can plug in instruments for tuning, amplifying, or even basic recording. Older music apps that no longer exist on modern versions of iOS still run beautifully on these devices. In some cases, the older apps actually have features that were removed from the newer versions. Interestingly, the older headphone jack output can provide a cleaner and more reliable audio experience for certain uses compared to the modern USB-only setup. If you're a musician, hobbyist, or even just someone who wants a dedicated control tablet, the iPad mini is a fantastic option. Creativity. There's still so much you can do. You can use the iPad mini to display reference photos while you draw or paint. You can use older drawing apps that are still compatible, You can even use a distraction-free creative planning device. Sometimes having an older device is actually beneficial because it removes distractions. It can become a simple tool rather than an all-in-one entertainment machine. That simplicity can really help with creativity. If you're into fitness, the iPad mini is perfect for workouts. You can mount it near a treadmill or an exercise bike and watch videos while you train. You can follow along with workout routines or simply listen to music to keep yourself motivated. Because it's small and lightweight, it's easy to position wherever you need it. You can even connect it to surround sound systems or Bluetooth speakers and use it as a dedicated music control center for your workouts. That way, you're not risking your main phone while exercising. One of the most meaningful uses that came from your comments was using an older iPad as photo storage and communication devices for older relatives. Some people shared that they placed the old iPad in a care home room with auto answer enabled so they could easily video call family members. Others loaded them with family photos. Relatives could scroll through memories whenever they wanted. That idea really stood out to me because it showed that keeping old tech alive isn't just about saving money or experimenting. It can actually help people stay connected and relive important moments. Now we come to the most technical option, and that is jailbreaking. This is absolutely something you must do at your own risk, and only if you feel comfortable doing it. If done incorrectly, you could end up with a device that no longer works and a very big paperweight. Jailbreaking unlocks the iPad beyond Apple's intended limitations. It allows access and apps and modifications that would not normally be possible. Developers have created tools that bypass the unsupported restrictions and open up new possibilities. One of the most interesting developments is the use of older versions of UTM, which allow virtual machines to run on the iPad. That means you could technically run lightweight versions of Linux or even Windows inside a virtual environment. Now, to be clear, performance is slow due to the limited RAM and hardware constraints. It's not going to replace a real computer, but the fact that it works at all is fascinating. It really makes you think about what might be possible with further optimization. If you do choose to jailbreak, always make sure you download from legitimate sources and check that it's legal to do so in your country. This gives me an idea for another video. Let me know if you want me to put this through its paces with a jailbreak. So, at the end of the day, unsupported doesn't mean unusable. These devices were built very well. They still function, they still have bright displays, solid batteries, and reliable hardware. Just because the software updates have stopped doesn't mean they belong in landfill. With a bit of creativity and experimentation, you can save money, reduce waste, and extend the life of something that still works perfectly fine. So, if you've got an unsupported iPad mini sitting in the drawer somewhere, don't throw it away. Repurpose it, mount it, experiment with it, try something new. And if you haven't watched my previous unsupported iPad video, make sure you check that out after this one. The link is in the description below. If this has helped you, drop a like, subscribe if you're new here, and let me know if the comments how you're still using your old iPad mini in 2026. Let's keep more tech out of landfill and prove that even small, unsupported devices still have a big place in our homes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.